Greetings, viewers. I am Eric the Car Guy, and I'm also known as Etcg1. And here on Etcg1, I start things off with, hey, if it's your birthday, happy birthday. And today we have something special, a cat with a cupcake for you. Enjoy. So in today's video, actually one of my viewers made a comment recently and said, Eric, you've been in that shop 10 years. Why don't we get a new shop tour like 10 years later? And I thought, you know what? You're absolutely right. In fact, I moved into this shop early September 2011. I'm a little bit early, but I am in my 10th year of being at this shop, and I love it. In fact, one of the things I do every time I walk through this door when I come here is I say, hello, shop. Normally the lights aren't on, but here is the shop as it is today, and it is what, March 19th, I think? 2021. I'll admit that I'm a little embarrassed. My garbage is a bit overflowing at the moment. Sorry about that. And the reason is because that truck, the transmission went out. And I had nothing to do with that. Monster Transmission built the transmission, but they're going to help me out. And actually, I'm going to pay shipping and stuff, and they're going to rebuild it for me. I think the sprag went out. I lost third and fourth gear getting on the highway. It just went away, gone. Anyway, that'll be covered in another video. Let's talk about the shop, and that's why I have the transmission jack out and ready. Here's the Factory 5 as it sits right now. I'm waiting on the Watts link to show up. Also my fabricator. The guy's busy, I get it, but it has been some time. I was having him bend up a couple of bars so I could weld them in for the foot boxes. Still don't have those yet. But I keep texting him and bugging him though. Over there, on top of the badass workbench, which I love that thing, is some new jacks, vehicle jacks, tire jacks, I guess you could call them. And what they're for is the truck when I get the transmission out. Because once I get the transmission out of the truck, obviously I can't drive it around the shop. I'm going to have to push it around the shop. Normally, I use the ones that are underneath the Factory 5 right now, and I'm not going to be able to do that, so I got some other ones. But these are new ones that they have like little jack handles on them, so you just slide them under the tires and jack it up, and then you can push things around. I hope they work a little better than these. These work okay, but especially when you put something heavy on it like the truck, and I did have the truck on them for a while, they didn't do so well, especially when you get very small rocks. Those are the killer of that stuff, as it seems. Let's stop looking at me and we'll look at the shop stuff. We'll start back here. This shelf is actually new parts, and then the bottom part of the shelf is like giveaway kind of stuff and what have you. In fact, that whole top shelf is all Type R parts, which I've been slowly collecting. I just got the supercharger back from the rebuilder. Yes, it took a year. This one over here is like my project vehicles. Like this shelf is for the Ford. This stuff up here is for the truck. And on top is just Eastwood X-Mat, some sound deadening material that I sometimes use. I had it left over from before. I sort of have the TIG welder set up. Like I've got the gas and I've got everything, but I need to run the right electricity or the right plug so I can plug this guy in and actually use it. I don't have one of these plugs here in the shop, so I'm gonna have to sort that out. The MIG still works though. That works just fine. And here we are, like I said, with a badass workbench. Love this thing. And yeah, it's a bit dirty. I'm a little embarrassed, but I do a lot of dirty stuff back here. This vise, which I can move around. So this has a receiver in here, and I can remove it, and I put this bolt in so it wouldn't wobble around so that it stays firm and steady. But I have a receiver here, and I have some on my other workbench down there. And you've probably noticed the tool wall. I've been working with Gearwrench a little bit, and they've also sent me a toolbox. Now I plan to do a review on this and some Gearwrench tools in the future, but here it is. But I always keep the Meetup 2016. That was the last meetup I had here. And sadly, I don't think I'll be able to have any more. There's just too many trucks and stuff out front. It's really growing out there, and there's very little room to move. But I keep this up as a reminder of the fans that stop by and the fans that I have, and the reason why I do this. So this is kind of an inspiration wall. Moved everything down this way once this toolbox showed up, and I'll just give you a peek. There's a peek. You'll have to see the video on that. New giant power bar. That guy lives here, and the brooms and stuff like that. Summit banner, the Air at the Car Guy thing that my oldest brother gave me when he came out for that 2016 meetup. Ben Pack, the lift, the 2-post lift. I did not have this lift when I first moved in here. Ben Pack totally hooked me up with a bunch of shop equipment. And we'll get to those as we go around the shop. But this is, once again, I'm embarrassed about my garbage. I try to keep the work area clean though, but the piles of garbage are starting to look like New York City in the 70s. I've moved some stuff around. I've got the new Snap-on box. Yeah, that's the old tripod, the tried and true. This guy has been with me through a lot. In fact, I just recently had to fix it with a coat hanger. Works though. Why throw it away if you can fix it, right? This Snap-on Toolbox, done a video about that. I still love it. And for those of you wondering, that squeaking has kind of gone away. Well, there it is a little bit. I say it's gone away, but I've either gotten used to it or learned to ignore it or whatever. I don't care. I care more about the tools that are inside it than anything else. I did redo my wrench drawer, right? Happy about that. Once again, Ben Pack was hooking me up with the compressor, which has served me well, but I don't know. I'm just not getting the same volume of air that I used to. I'm beginning to wonder if it's that 90-degree bend there. I honestly don't know. I keep the moisture out, I drain it, and I mean, look, I drain the moisture out of this after every time I use it. But, it is what it is. Now, I recently just stepped up to the big boy tanks. I literally got these this week because I ran out of oxygen during the middle of a job. But I've had this cart for a while in preparation for it. The acetylene is hooked up because I only ran out of oxygen, so I still have my old acetylene bottle, but when I'm there, I'm ready. But that is the torch kit that I've wanted for the longest time, and I finally made that happen. Parts washer, you remember that guy. Sandblaster, you remember that guy. And then the dust reclaimer with that. Tire changing machine, that wasn't here either. Also, thank you, Ben Pack. Tire balancer, same thing, if I'm honest. Tire changing machine, I like that. Tire balancer, I kind of fight with that sometimes. And then we have our diesel heater. And Mr. Heater is still here too. In fact, the strategy now is to run this heater and the diesel heater simultaneously, and it heats up the shop pretty quickly and quite nicely. The front bumper to the Fixing It Forward Odyssey, which I'm waiting on some parts that I may be able to reattach this again. Behind that, the Factory 5 body that sits here with some of its bits and everything on top. This is the engine that's going to go into it. I'll be building this. Yeah, I can tell you now. I plan to make it into a 331. Going to keep the automatic transmission and have that built as well. Multi-port fuel injection, naturally aspirated is what I'm going for with this. Also going to get air conditioning. Yeah, right? I have all the parts and everything. So this Factory 5 will have air. This is going to be a cool project. It's going to take a minute to get it done, but when I'm done, this is going to be one wicked cool car. The Fairmont, come on, the love of my life. I've wanted to build a car like this ever since I was a teenager, some kind of sleeper. And here it is, in the flesh. And I absolutely love it. I love the way it sits. I love the color. People say, Eric, you gotta paint that a different color. Not me. No, I love the color. Love this car. This is just cool, personified to me. And I've got ideas for more tweaks and tunes and such back here, but we'll get there. The wall has been covered with some stuff. Some people along the way have sent me some things. Adam Burke out in Australia, he really good friend who has been helping me review videos for years and years. He sent me this, and I had to hang it up. And it's right here in front of the engine. Those of you that know, that's Dark Matter Pikachu. There's Pikachu. Get it? Anyway, thank you, Adam. And other things that viewers have sent me and things that I've been involved with over the years, kind of like my wall and such. This was my dad's license plate for years and years. He gave it to me. And my desk. This is my desk. I don't really show this that often because, well, it's not that interesting, but my refrigerator, my snacks. I need to get new snacks, healthier snacks. Guess what I have now? And I just recently did this also. I had a massive flood in the shop, 2 floods actually. These lines here coming through the wall. popped off the end and started shooting water everywhere. That was a nightmare. But during the process, I went through and I cleaned out the hot water heater and I put a new heating element in it. And believe me, it was gross. But now, maybe we'll see some steam. I got hot water. I mean, at the last shop I had, I didn't have running water. I used to have to bring it there in jugs and fill up the toilet. And every time I'd flush the toilet, I'd have to fill it up to get it to flush. It was, well, a challenge. But now, not only do I have water, but I have hot water. I feel super fortunate. The first aid kit is still here. Fire extinguisher. The bathroom has gotten something of an upgrade. Yeah, that mold, I got nothing to do with that. Talking to the landlord on that. But anyway, this is that hot water heater that I talked about that I had to fix. But the biggest addition is this. Now I have some shelving in here, which gives me a lot more space. And this is the only part of the shop that has constant heat. And I had to add a thermostat here recently to get that done. My brake lathe, also thanks to, Ranger / Ben Pack. I've used this recently, but I don't use it enough. Because, turning rotors and stuff really isn't a thing anymore. And I'm sad about that because I really like having this piece of equipment. It's so cool to be able to use it, but I'm sad that I don't use it more. This is my Cabinet O stuff. I put all the flammable type stuff in here, as well as some car wash products and all that kind of thing. And it's not a fire cabinet, but it's an attempt, we'll call it. The Brannick spring compressor, that wasn't here when I got here. This was one of my workbenches that I had, in addition to the one that's on the other side of the shop. And it has served me very well over the years. And the air system, I can't forget about the air system that I spent all that time putting in. And of course we know, Elvis. Scrap metal, bits and everything that I can use. Batteries that I can use to start cars if I need to. And this, the shelving, this was life-changing. This added so much to my life. It really did. The storage and everything with this. It took a couple of days to get this worked out, but now that I have it worked out, it has really helped a lot, a whole lot. The Fixing It Forward Odyssey, Blackbeard, and the GSR. Both these guys. Absolutely love them. And this is another Gearwrench Toolbox. This one's a smaller one. Nice little box. I mean, I've started putting stuff in this, sort of using it as like electrical work type thing. I may do a tool review on this one, I'm not really sure. I've got a couple of videos to do for Gearwrench, but I really dig this thing. In fact, this thing is stout enough to where I could set like a engine transmission cradle on top of it. It's actually stout enough to where I could do that and then use this to roll around. So this guy here, very useful. So there we are with a quick tour of the shop after 10 years. It's so hard to believe that I've been here that flippin' long. 10 years I've been in this place. And yeah, I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm sort of bursting at the seams a little bit. I'll make it work though. A lot of it's because of the cars and stuff that are in here, but I'm not worried about that. I'll sort it out. I'm grateful to be here. In fact, the reason why I say hello shop every time I walk in here is because that's how I'm showing appreciation for saying, yeah, I get to work here. And reminding myself, I get to work here, and I want to call it play here, and I'm thankful to you, the audience, for helping to put me here. Without you watching the videos, this wouldn't exist. And now that you have watched the videos and you've been supporting me all these years, I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this shop tour that I did for you today, and well, maybe you saw some things that you might want to see more of, whatever. Let me know down in the comments. If you have automotive questions, air@thecarguy.com, link down in the comments, along with the original videos of when I first moved in here so you can kind of see in between, compare and contrast. It's pretty cool. Anyway, be safe, have fun, stay dirty. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.